Are we on? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Microphone check. Lights. Camera. Hit me. This is swanky. This is lifestyle. This is culture. Welcome to the social center of everything culture. Culture Daily.
Some visuals on the lovely music, I can say. I think it's brand new music coming out from Stormzy. It's got various artists on there. I think Ira Star, right? And who would that be else?
I forget the name. Tendai, I think. Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you very much on that. But anyway, before we jump into the convo for this morning, time check 9:10 a.m. Discover a world of innovation, a world of luxury, and a world many of us dream about owning. Now, discover the world of Bang & Olufsen. Now, it's a particularly true brand in the ever-evolving realm of high-end electronics that you might love to own. Locate Bang & Olufsen's showroom right here in Accra, Ghana, the Atlantic Tower, Liberation Road, where each passing day, month, and year, a variety of drool-worthy new electronic gadgets ranging from headsets, speakers, television sets, soundbar products, home theaters are released. Bang & Olufsen like no one else. The Musicians Union of Ghana, MUSIGA, will be holding its elections very, very soon. For those of you who have lived the era of MUSIGA or been following keenly on the activities of MUSIGA, of course, it's a Musicians Union. The elections will be held very soon, and of course, as media partners, it's on the 8th of August, I'm told, as media partners, or as a media house, I beg your pardon. Of course, we share interest in the welfare of musicians, hence our interest in the activities of MUSIGA. Whereas we do know that people have brought MUSIGA under heavy fire with regards to their role and their responsibility in the ecosystem, the music ecosystem. But of course, today we are happy to have guests, representatives from MUSIGA who will be joining us for a conversation leading towards its election to be held on the 8th of August. We'll be having that convo. But before we even do that, guys, a quick in-house conversation with regards to MUSIGA. Now, I know anytime we talk MUSIGA, we need to speak on facts. Mm-hmm. Yes, on facts, so that we can be found wanting or act as how do you describe journalists who don't do research before they speak? What will be the best? A question for St. Rose is your main question. But
factless.
Factless. Well, anyway, we will be later be joined by Daddy Bosco and also our very own Bessa Simons, who will join us via Zoom for a conversation on the state of affairs at MUSIGA, as well as the future of MUSIGA, where it stands. And you out there are also welcome to ask your questions via our social media platforms as well. Cyril, don't you have plans of contesting for MUSIGA president? I'm quite surprised that
I thought D-Black was going to do that.
I also thought D-Black would go. That's why I didn't go.
D-Black was going to do.
Why D-Black though?
Oh, because he actually showed interest.
Yeah,
I remember
he's
when
mentioned it actually before in public.
I remember when the conversation started about trying to get young people to run the affairs of, MUSIGA, or even some of our, music unions.
Mm-hmm.
Some
at a point in time, I think Richie from Links Entertainment also was
Yes, I remember
I don't know,
Richie.
was it before or after?
It was
after.
After Obo.
Yeah,
yes,
after
when Obo
Obo
was was signing out.
That was 2019.
It was actually a big rumor. Richie's one was actually a big rumor making waves, and then I don't know what happened.
2019, and I think after that they've had all sort of interesting challenges when it comes to the register, the voting register. Mm-hmm. They had to keep postponing.
All those were just rough tactics, by the way.
Yeah, right. I mean, based on facts. So I think when Uncle Bessa joins us, maybe he can tell us, because he's been an acting, or shall I say, placeholder for the presidential role at MUSIGA. Mm-hmm. And ever since then, we haven't really seen a lot of, activity from that end. From I don't know what's because of the challenges they faced, in time
That's
past.
what I'm saying, that with MUSIGA, before you speak, you have to be very factual. We haven't seen activities. Could be two ways.
Yes.
Either we haven't shown interest in finding out what's going on, or they haven't amplified their
Maybe they amplified their challenges more.
Yes. Only just said it. I think the challenges of MUSIGA are quite louder than the successes of MUSIGA.
Yeah, MUSIGA,
and let's not also be confused with MUSIGA and Gamro.
Gamro,
I think you mentioned this earlier on, which I do agree with you. These are two different entities. Gamro is a royalty collection agency institution. Whereas MUSIGA is a union for musicians. But we also need to understand exactly, and I always keep saying this, that before we even chastise or critique or anything, we need to understand the role of MUSIGA. Can MUSIGA function without artists? Because a lot of artists are not really part of the MUSIGA, you know. That's also another conversation to have. I know people have taken decisions on whether they should be part of MUSIGA as to hearsays. What others are saying about the union.
Yeah.
You know, forget about sometimes the almost deplorable state. I remember when Obo was president, I paid a visit to the office one time, and I must say it's a place that you need a heart to sit in there if you say you want to wake up and go to work.
It's deplorable.
Yeah, it was in a very deplorable state. I didn't visit there again for a very long time. But it wasn't a place where you could be happy to wake up and say, like, you know, look at our facility here. But of course, all this is investments. But investments from who? From the state, or from they have to find their own monies, you know.
Well, they've actually bemoaned lack of state, you know, support, you know. And I think that was one of the things that Obo always wanted to hold his head up high, you know, after he left the office, because he believed that during his time, he actually found innovative ways of, you know, running the space, although there were some, you know, rumor mongering about how he either siphoned money or, you know, used the finances for the institution to do other things. So it's very interesting that since 1975, since its inception, we have to talk about the deplorable state of an embodiment that is supposed to protect, you know, the interests of Ghanaian musicians, you know, not just locally, but, you know, globally as well. Because I think the last time you said that if you have a functioning body like MUSIGA, they can even make a case at Gamro, you know, because then they move as a unit, you know. So even before you hit Gamro, you have to look at if MUSIGA's house is in order.
But you know, sometimes what I don't understand is why aren't musicians? Because the union can only function as a union if it has members.
Right.
Is it that I'm just always wondering, is it that the union hasn't been able to set its mandate or achieve its goals? Hence, the reason why people have lack of interest in the union.
For clarity, the union's job is to formalize and then also establish a system that takes care of the welfare of the members. So it needs, first and foremost, to be attractive. It needs to be transparent so that those who are on the outside know that this is something I want to be a part of. Because when I enter this union, this is what I stand to gain. This is how it amplifies my brand. This is how it helps me to connect with all the other business entities that I need in my value chain. So Cyril going to Gamro to go and fight is one thing. MUSIGA going to Gamro to go and fight is more effective.
It's more effective.
So it will make sense for Cyril to be a member of MUSIGA. But here's the case where for a very long time, MUSIGA has not been attractive, especially to our A-list artists and even to artists who are investing private funding into their brand. It's like the more private resources people put in their music, the less they care about MUSIGA. So for me, I think where MUSIGA's biggest shortfall has been in making it attractive and making it convincing enough that artists, our A-list artists, would want to be a part of it.
And even drive the conversation.
You like the logo?
Do I like the logo? It starts from there. Everything. I mean, I don't want. This is not a witch hunting session, so I'm going to really hold back. But I mean, come on. You know what?
It's going to be a difficult conversation.
It's going to be a difficult conversation. We have to have difficult conversations because
it is.
Listen, you are
doing take your physical alert.
Guys, I'm also concerned.
You're given a union for people who are 99.9% creative. People who care about their personal logos, personal brands, sound of their music videos, their style, their fashion. Your MUSIGA is supposed to be a union for people who are artists at heart, creatives. The union does not represent art. So we keep saying people are not members, people are not members. It's like you have to make the product attractive, and the younger generation, the older generation will fight and claw to be members of the union. So if you have any union, a company, a business, a product, and it's not moving off the shelf, you do a package design, a redesign, or you do a rebrand. Even brands that are Kia, despite their sales, Hyundai and Kia at the height of their sales, still rebranded. You know, Kia has a new logo.
Yeah.
And they did that
What
rebrand.
are you trying to tell me?
I'm just saying that it's not.
What are you trying to tell me?
You have to do a new logo. We need a new Chevrolet logo.
Upgrade it.
You have to upgrade because the time Kia and Hyundai even rebranded, they were not suffering. It was when they'd had their highest sales in the US. But they were like, we are standing on this pedestal. Let's elevate even further. So they made it much more appealing. Why have we shut down the appeal of a union that is supposed to represent creatives?
Do you think that the survival? No, in fact, do you think the union's perceived failure, and I choose my words carefully, perceived failure, is as a result of the lack of facility to run Gamro? Hence, because people confuse the two, and I feel like if I don't get my royalties, which is a big conversation. By even being in music, I don't get my royalties because I feel they're supposed to be having this conversation with Gamron. Then I see both entities as a reason for me not. Yeah, so I don't even want to end.
Exactly.
And I'm making my own money as an artist, getting my own shows.
Exactly.
Are there any policies that guide me before I step on stage? Union must give some, I must fit a certain whatever. I don't know.
Look, let me take it back all the way to primary school. Why did people join Scouts? You join Scouts because when it's PE time, you don't want to go and do PE. The Scouts people get to go and play and do their marching and do the other stuff.
They will get a knife.
Instead of going to go and play four corners. Why do people join Girls Guide?
Yeah.
Because there's trips, because there's always a benefit to every kind of association or union. Now, the most pertinent need for Ghanaian musicians is to earn revenue. So that union's first and foremost mandate should be vocal and effective enough that the body that is supposed to ensure that artists are earning will listen, respect, and adjust to your conditions. And MUSIGA has consistently failed to deliver on that. So to an artist, the question remains, if I join MUSIGA, what do I go get? And with regards to the PR nightmare that MUSIGA has suffered over the last decade plus, they've not been able to clear up that air. Because it's all PR. It's all PR. If people think MUSIGA is not worth joining, it's PR. If people think the characters who are involved in MUSIGA are not smart enough, or they are not innovative enough, or this person chop money, or that, it's PR. It's no different from any socio-political association. When a politician is accused of spending money, what does he do? He holds a press conference, comes out, provides us with the facts, tells us why he didn't, and then we move on from there. We have neglected the PR angle of MUSIGA. We've not branded it to be attractive, and we are not sending any message.
You didn't answer my question. Did you see the logo?
I saw the logo, my brother.
That's what I wanted to ask you.
Everybody here has seen the logo. See, Seven is laughing. We've seen the logo.
So what do you think of the MUSIGA logo?
You introduce the man, you ask him.
No. But you're going to mention the guy in this. And they can't give the guy in this thing, everything. No, seriously, you say 7. 7, you're right, 7.
The logo.
Have you seen the MUSIGA logo?
Yeah.
Do you like it?
No, I don't.
Eddie, do you like the logo?
I don't like them.
So 5 of us here, industry people.
I beg God.
You did inside swine. Okay, J. Foley. You like the logo?
I love the logo.
Hey!
I love it.
Hey, Judas. Here too. Judas, here too.
Just to add to
we just chopped Easter finish. You come back for part 2.
just to add to
the xylophone.
Just to add to the digital, revolution in terms of conversation here. I'm just looking at their socials here. The official MUSIGA page on Facebook has 17,000 followers. Instagram, however, has 122 followers.
You can understand IG.
The last time they posted was Workers' Day, 1st May, and Twitter is nowhere to be found. It's disabled.
They are not obliged to be on social media. They're not obliged. No, I didn't say so. They're not obliged to be on all their platforms. They can choose
but I'm saying that if you don't make it,
because they're not on Viber, they're not on Snapchat, they're not on TikTok.
No, but bro, this is where your alien artists actually get their news from.
The guy who is managing the platform says that he doesn't want to be
there. Social media is an arm you can use to activate your PR plan.
That's what I'm saying.
So if they feel that the PR,
that's what I'm saying.
Relax. I said the guy says he doesn't want to be on Snapchat. If you say he make it there.
No, but why does he want to be on Snapchat?
But the songs are hitting on TikTok. The songs.
I don't understand,
bro. Your
the
members.
music union that's supposed to even encourage the artists to be on these platforms is not on it. Then how do we start the conversation?
No, the guy says he doesn't want to be on it.
Yeah, I beg you. No, I want to understand something, Jay. I want to understand something, though.
Yeah.
The platform,
yes,
that is supposed to have the artists do the right things we talk about in this studio. We are not even musical. We are just personalities who happen to learn a thing.
We are nonsense guys. They are
not leading the example. How do the musicians follow you?
All I'm saying is that maybe the union feels like that platform is not a place for them to have. I don't think so.
Professor will join us. We'll ask him and see if that's what he
so they choose not to be on all the digital platforms. It's them. I'm not fighting it. I'm saying that they're not there because maybe they don't want to be there.
No, Jay, this just starts to be very shaky.
No, I'm not saying that. But the guy, no one did there.
That's what he told you.
No,
perhaps there might have been challenges
because I don't think it costs money to set up a Snap account.
They don't have a
cost money.
Imagine selling ships.
These are the questions to be asked.
Imagine selling ships in the desert.
Is the website working?
No, you sell ships. You say no one knew where the water is.
I'm not holding brief for them, but we went to Twitter. You didn't find them there, and I'm just saying that maybe they feel like that place.
Their website is
maybe because of Elon Musk.
But I think the expectations are too high. From the conversation so far.
No, I think the expectations are very low. Actually, a website.
I'm coming from it. I'm coming from.
Let me finish. I will do
because I know clearly you guys have known that they've suffered a leadership challenge for ages.
Yep.
A social media manager won't just pop up. A community manager won't pop up.
Yeah.
It connects to leadership.
Yeah.
And that is why I'm excited about this conversation.
Okay.
I think we are
focusing on the
little ones. We are focusing. This is trivial.
Okay.
Social media pages are trivial. There are more important things, and that's the reason why I'm so happy about this election. For me, MUSIGA is better in motion than not in motion at all.
But it's still in motion because it's acting president.
And we all know what has been happening with all these issues with Ras Caleb. Mm-hmm. So finally, if the member is being given the chance to vote and decide who will leave them now, it's a better start for us.
Okay.
So at this point, what we should be doing now is to put those guys on the ballot paper, on that podium, and start asking them what they are going to be doing. Okay. And that is when these questions of these social media handles will come in. At this point, I don't know who we are directing this to.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my honest opinion.
Yeah,
that's by me. I beg to differ because if you say there are high expectations, we are asking for the barest minimum. And your website is not working. Your socials are.
No, Lily, you're not getting my argument.
No, I get what you say. It's a lack of leadership. And
aside that, how you
the guy,
Eddie
saying that
Father Mother no
the key to open the padlock to enter the building to sit and work.
So now I feel the focus should be heavy
on leadership
on the next step now.
Yeah.
Because I feel we are discussing this in context. And that's the topic Ricky sent to me that the thing is out of the way. Mm-hmm. They are now going to elections in August. For me, I think MUSIGA is a trades union, basically. And the role of a trades union is to protect the interest of its members, basically, on all fronts. And,
its members. It's very important you said that.
On all fronts.
So you cannot complain about the industry or your craft as an artist if you are not a member of
Yes.
Okay.
And we've seen examples of trades union, like, some that started from, I saw the genesis of GPRTU.
The best.
Yeah. And this was basically not full literate people. If you go into GPRTU, you find probably illiterates who have risen to the ranks to manage the rights of their members as drivers. And GPRTU is probably one of the most powerful.
The best,
basically. So for me, I think we need to start fixing it from here, and we all need to start getting interest. In our conversations as well, we make it seem like MUSIGA is just for the performer. No, it's MUSIGA. It's open to even the roadie, the guy who follows the artist to his shows. You're entitled to join MUSIGA. The call for young people to join MUSIGA, for me, we should pick that from the messages of these guys standing. We should see it from their messages, delivering their message to say that I'm going to include young people. For them, their role is basically to lead and appoint people to do stuff for them. And that is why Obo's, reign was vibrant. Obo didn't do anything spectacular. But, we saw a lot of vibrancy. And that is one of the biggest challenge I'm seeing that's going to face whoever is going to win this presidentship. Because for me, the next move is to assemble. Membership drive for me is the most important. Because,
a year ago, I was privileged to sit in some MUSIGA reconciliation meetings that was put together by Honorable Mark Okrekumante. And it was a good initiative to try and resolve the issues amongst themselves, and some of these issues were just born out of a lot of miscommunication, misinterpretation. Sometimes there were conversations around, certain financial laws, all those things that needed to be resolved amongst people.
Yeah. It's always the money.
Yes, amongst people before the union can actually get its foundation to start operating. And as at the time these conversations were going on, I think they had made huge strides in trying to shape up create one interest for all the members. I think at that time, still, Mr. Simons is the current president, right?
Acting.
I beg your pardon, acting, yes. And I like his stance. I mean, he was very open in wanting to hear everybody's, opinions on all the matters. And they came to certain conclusions. So I'm happy that the election is about to happen now. And I only pray that moving forward, a lot of these issues that we're discussing had come up at that time. And whoever takes the mantle would be able to steer the affairs of MUSIGA very, very well. But I cannot tell exactly what is happening right now as we speak.
That's what I was asking Eddie, that Uncle Bessa is the acting president. Mm-hmm. Does the Constitution deny him the opportunity to activate some of these barest minimum expectations that we are looking forward to or asking him to do? Because if you say you are an acting president, I want to believe that you have been given some kind of willpower to start some changes or introduce some innovative solutions that whoever is going to come after you, or even if you are sustained, you can continue. But since he assumed that role, not much really has been heard or seen.
I'd like to hear from Seven on this.
From him. So I don't know.
I don't think so. I'm not 100% positive, but I think he should be able to at least do some of the bare minimum.
Bare minimum, yeah.
Okay, sorry, I'll need you to straighten the mic and speak
okay. Some of the bare minimum you're talking about.
Sound guy.
I like him very much as a person. Like, he's a fun guy, legendary, definitely. But he's been there. He's been active. He was a vice president for 8 years, right? And then the election came, and Ras Caleb claimed this thing happened, so it got put off. He became the acting, So he's been there for at least 10 plus years.
Wow, imagine.
So if nothing really came out of it, I wish he would just step aside and let somebody else lead if possible. Not to take anything from him as a human being. Whenever I say these things, people think I actually hate and not, just trying to be really positive about things. Caleb is also the Greater Accra president for MUSIGA. So he's also been in there for a while. Definitely, I'm sure if he wanted to do certain things as a sub president, he probably wouldn't be able to achieve something on a national level. So I want to see him, and I probably also, I know Richie was contesting for position, I think first or second vice. So I probably want to see him contest for the president possible. Because I'll definitely assume that Richie's been around this for a while. He knows currently, what's going on currently with the artists, because most of the people trying to go for the positions as of now probably have no idea what is going on now in the industry. And everything now with music unions has to do with what is happening now. How, because, like you were saying, the trade union, for a music union, it's basically trying to create wealth for the artists or anybody involved in music, and also creating a better working environment. Yeah. You know, so they should be able to be setting, let's say, minimum pay for upcoming artists. The minimum pay, because I know some of these boys perform for free, 50 CDs. When somebody wants to use, like these days when people want to use songs for adverts, trust me, they don't go for the big ones, because the small boys will give it to them for 50 CDs, 100 CDs, which is not right. But they'll do it because there's no standard set for some of these things. And the same applies for even music, Gumroad. They have to like sit with Gumroad and set whatever we want as musicians. You know, I mean, we don't have to have Shatta Wale ranting alone, Stonebwoy ranting alone. If they were part of MUSIGA and MUSIGA is working properly, that one voice would be MUSIGA, and that stands for everyone else. You know, so
do you think that artists have not also been helpful to MUSIGA because it's a union? It must, or because I don't know if artists have joined and attended meetings when they've been called, and you know, being proactive by being members. I want to find out from the artist's point of view and what the artist is supposed to do as a member, because. Like you said, you just mentioned Stonebwoy ranting alone, Sack ranting, Shatta ranting alone and all. I want to find out how some of these artists have actually played, what kind of roles they've played as members
I don't think union. Most of them, the newer ones, are not members of it, because they will tell you MUSIGA is basically an organization to join, so that when you die, they'll donate a couple of CDs to your family.
But why is it so? Why carry that perception?
Because that's the only thing they actually do, like proactively
that has been the perception.
That's what they think they are, you know. Because do you ever hear MUSIGA complaining about Gumroad, like proactively? No. Do they petition the government to, let's say, have theaters where we can actually perform this and this? Like, they don't do stuff like that, but that's what they're supposed to do.
Let me quickly chip in MUSIGA's mission, so that everybody have an understanding of what Seven is talking about. So their mission is to promote and preserve Ghanaian culture through education and equipping the Ghanaian musician to be self-reliant, creative, and industrious. They also offer its members various services and benefits such as music contracts, copyright registration, pension and insurance, welfare fund, loan service, and many more.
Okay, so based on that, you see, the reason I'm asking this is that I want to come from, look, we can all sit here and bash MUSIGA. Mm-hmm. But let me come from the other side. Without the ingredients of the soup can't be cooked.
You mean with what Olele just read?
Yes, without the ingredients. I'm saying without the musicians.
Yeah.
Because I have spoken to some musicians. Mm-hmm. In fact, if you check the membership list of MUSIGA, which I've been privy to,
how many members?
I can't remember the numbers, but then a lot of the names there.
4,000 members.
Good. A lot of the names there. You will not even know 3,999.
Exactly.
You understand?
So Jay, I will also blame the artist community heavily.
Okay.
Because when you appoint a guy, someone needs to hold him accountable. You can't sit outside.
Look, the artist community.
You can't sit outside the fence and hold Rascale accountable. And that is one thing about leadership and governance. Yeah. It's not an event. It's a process. And that is why over a period of time, you are given the chance to kick the guy out because he came in and he messed out.
Yeah. Yes.
You get me? So without the active involvement of the artist community as members. And now, as Seven said, we are in the now of music, and we should be thinking about the future of music now. You get me? So it's really, really, really important that the artist community gets hold of the association. You need to be part of it.
Eddie, do you think it's more of a transition from their fathers? So, for example, give an example.
Sorry, Olele, I'm told that Daddy Bosco has joined the line for the conversation. So let's get Daddy Bosco online to help us address some of these issues that we are discussing. Good morning, senior and legendary Daddy Bosco. Can you hear me?
Good morning.
Yes. I can't hear. Any of you can hear Daddy Bosco? Okay, let me try this as well. Can you hear me? Okay, all right. We'll try and reestablish the connection.
So I was trying to ask.
Again. Yes, please go ahead.
Eddie I can hear you.
Okay.
I think.
Okay. I don't know. Daddy Bosco, I think I heard you speak. Can you hear me?
It's extremely delayed.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Loud and clear. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. It's good for you to join us on the show. We're excited. Daddy Bosco, you have been within the circles of MUSIGA for quite a number of years. We're having a good discussion pending the election that is coming up. Before we even jump into anything, I want to ask you, what are the preparations like, as we get close to elections for 8th August?
Thank you very much, Jay. It's been a while.
Yes, it's been a while.
Good to see you back on screen in this place. Currently, the National Election Committee is spearheading the whole process. The election committee is chaired by Peter Mafo, who is the chairman.
Daddy Bosco, we are struggling with the network connection.
2 weeks ago, they met me. Is it that bad?
I think so. Yes, if you might want to reposition yourself again. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yeah, I can hear you very clearly here.
Okay, I think it's much better now.
Yeah, so like I was saying, just a fortnight ago, they met with the aspirants. I think most of the aspirants.
Okay, Daddy Bosco, I think what we'll do is we'll call you on a regular call. We'll hold on with the Zoom conversation and call you on a regular call and see if we can establish a connection again. Apologies, the network, I think, is giving us a challenge in here, but we're going to reach Daddy Bosco again shortly, not on a voice call, but I mean on a voice call, not on a data call. Yes, but anyway, Olele, you were saying something.
I was just saying that could the break in, should I say, continuity from those who were actively involved in MUSIGA and the current artists who may not even know what MUSIGA is, be as a result of the predecessors not really, leading the young ones into it. Because I'm sure if they saw some kind of success stories or they saw some kind of benefit the older folks were experiencing, the younger ones could have easily joined in.
So for me as well, there's a reason why every 4 years in the States, young people are rallied to vote. Yeah. they spend millions of dollars just to tell the young person that's going to vote, because ordinarily, the young person doesn't think about these things. They have other things to think about. And that is the reason why I feel we have this platform. And that is our role as media. That's our role as advocates. Within the political space, there are advocates. Oxfam is spending a lot of money trying to encourage young people to participate in governance and leadership by your first fundamental right is to vote. That is your first step of making a decision, of making sure that the guy who is sitting in the seat is a guy who is interested about your welfare, who is interested about everything. So I think that is what we should be doing now. We should be championing the likes of the Sarkodis to say that, we need a new face of MUSIGA. It's not too late. We might have Bessa and Ras Caleb going. But with the active membership, these guys will start sitting on their toes and say that, okay, looking at the membership profile now, it's not your typical guy. As you said, I've been to the office before myself. And clearly, those people who are actively coming for the meetings are not the guys you know. These are the guys who would appreciate a dole of 10 cities or 15 cities. Because you come from Cape Coast, come and see president. And I say, Gamro scanning my, then president will give him 50. But, in the case of these younger people who are making probably some good money from their music now is the time to be able to probably, if you can't do it, find that guy and sponsor the person. That can be your role as well. Yeah. So for me, as I said, I'm excited about this. And this is how we can look at it as, the new dawn, the time to be able to push and ensure that we have the right guy sitting there and also hold him accountable. Because without accountability, Charlie, 4 years will come back and it will be the same issues. And we'll talk about social media pages.
Yeah. Seven, so what is your take on artist involvement with MUSIGA?
It's needed 100%. The one thing is, just like artist Serial said.
You've forgotten his name, man.
Artist,
He's not a member of
music. I know he's not. He's been calling me and complaining. But just like Artist Serial said...
But is Cyril a member of MUSIGA?
He is not.
He's not.
I can confirm that 100%.
I'm a musician.
Oh,
I'm a musician.
You are within the value chain.
What value chain? Finish make a talk. Since no go bring fire extinguisher.
So it's like if they don't see anything attractive, the word is attractive, they're not trying to join it. And it's not even because it's just like looking at other members or past members and knowing nothing happened for them by joining MUSIGA. So an artist is thinking, oh, they just want my membership dues, and that's it. Nothing happens. I don't gain anything. So that's the reason why they will not join. But yes, I would definitely say our musicians or our younger folks really act as if there's no time for anything else but whatever it is important to them. This is important to them. If this has to be a profession, I mean, if you're a driver, a trotro driver, you want to be part of GPRTU, like you have to be. But only because GPRTU makes it super attractive for you to be part of it.
Can it also be the fact that, I mean, I want to ask about this attraction and what exactly they should do to make it attractive. But are we also realizing the fact that these are celebrities who might not, you know how the ego play works, who might not want to come and sit in the same auditorium with everybody else? The ego play. So how...
Send your managers.
Your reps can be there.
Send your reps. Send your managers.
Send your rep.
It's not a problem. If it was money to be made, they will be there. Trust me.
Yeah. They're not even complaining when certain things are not
and the funny thing is, at the end of the day, there could be money to be made because if MUSIGA is pressuring Gumrow to do the right things and raise money and make sure they're getting money, they will definitely be involved in that.
I have a question though.
Yes, Artist Serial.
GPRTU. Yeah. Do they need a website to get their members to get together or to get people interested in GPRTU?
No, I think they've been more of a on the ground action.
Do they need social media to get people interested?
For me, social media plays no.
I'm a taxi driver. Look,
guys, I'm told that the Bosco is back on the line now. Let's confirm, see if we can hear him. Hello, good morning again. Can you hear me? Okay, I'm still having challenges. We have our own headaches too, right?
But at least you have a website.
So can any of you hear that it wasn't?
No, I can't hear you.
No. Okay.
I want to ask my question.
Please go ahead.
All right, please go ahead.
If I'm a driver, okay. Let's focus on Dan Bosco. I think he's talking. It comes, but there's a delay.
Yeah, you can hear him.
I heard something in the in-ear from the studio.
We still can't hear. We can't hear him at all in our studio. In our ears, completely blinded with the audio. Let's see. No, we can't hear Daddy Bosco. But let's carry on. Sorry, let's carry on. Yeah, let's carry on. Apologies to our listeners, please. We'll try and get this resolved. But please, who was
artist?
I was a taxi driver or trotro driver, and I wanted to join GPRTU.
Please, in the
would their social media presence matter to me?
No, because most likely at the station they have a presence at the station.
So it's about knowing where your target is, and being present and relevant where your target is.
Exactly.
The artists are on the internet.
I think we scaled over this
Eddie, we didn't scale over. Let me. I've done some. Let me finish.
Yeah.
The artist.
What he's saying, I don't understand.
Yes, the artist. Right. Gone are the days when internet didn't matter. Okay, and we had to go to the Gumrow office to pick the form, sign it, passport picture, all that. I have registered for Gumrow. I just didn't renew. I said Gumrow MUSIGA. I just didn't renew. Now we have evolved, right? I'm just reading an article here where MUSIGA launched their website in 2012 and called the stakeholders that we are saying where are the stakeholders. It's called the World Bank. They called UNDP, EcoBank, Global, a host of others, including people in the music and film industries, to relaunch the website under Obo. And the website was supposed to do all these things. Patch into digital, patch into social media, get registrations done, blah, blah, blah. If you go on Google now as a young artist and you say register for MUSIGA, the page that meets you is dead. Where is it?
Yeah.
Where is it?
None of their pages.
None of the pages work. Now, I checked the hosting on the 2012 one. It's gone. There's even no information. The MUSIGAonline.com was registered on December 7th, 2021. It expires December 7th this year. And there's no site there. The name is here. I'll withhold the name of the person who registered it. You can look at it. It is not being run like an organization.
If it's public, you can mention it.
No, if you know how, Google it and find it. I'm not going to be the one coming on the blog here.
Focus.
No, that will lose our focus. It's there. But my point is, if you are in 2023, even if you're in 2016, and you are trying to be a platform that appeals to a certain collective of the general public, who you know where they play and where they like to dirty themselves, and where you can easily promote what you do as a union and what you have to offer them. You cannot be standing somewhere else, right? While your core targets are standing elsewhere. And then this narrative of the artist self, no, they come. Our artists are registering with bodies in Europe, in Germany, in SA, in America. Why? Because they can go on a laptop and they can get it done. Because they can go on an Instagram and watch a 2-minute video that tells them why there's a benefit to joining.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So let's not belittle it, the social media conversation. It is the portal to communicate, brand, and inform your target audience of why you are the preferred choice. Even the presidential candidates who are 90 years that we see on Twitter and laugh. Is it not Twitter you saw it?
Oh, you've been laughing.
Oh,
no, you know something.
No, do you get? I don't know if my
Cyril is making it seem like the same scenario.
Very, very valid.
I'm not making it seem.
Cyril is making it seem like the car with the drive.
No.
With side mirror.
No, Eddie, let me land.
Side mirror. This is your car engine self no inside.
Eddie,
engine gearbox self no inside.
This is let me make my point. There's a chicken and egg relationship between the union and the members of the union. Somebody has to eat that humble pie and start the akro, quote unquote. MUSIGA does not need 10 million CDs to be effective. With an active membership, what that data is gold. With an active,
nobody's arguing with that.
That's what I'm saying. That how do you get that member?
So that's what they tell you. That membership now lies between these two guys who are asking you for power.
No.
So that'd be the question for ask the guy. Say, Charlie, yes, Bessa, you've been sitting on this seat for the essence of all of these things, and why is it not happening?
We are saying the same thing, but you're not letting me land on my point. What I am saying is that these same points have been neglected for a decade and a year. This announcement of a grand website was in 2012. We are in 23. Unless my math fails me, it's been a decade and a year of all these same players being alive, relevant, and functional in whatever role within this space.
Yes.
And if these are the people we are offering back up on the podium who have failed to create a door that will let musicians and music executives and music enthusiasts and industry players walk through, so that those who are technocrats can be part of MUSIGA. Those who are performers and creators can be part of MUSIGA, so that the union can grow. There is data, so that these people you call, this UNDP and EcoBank and Co that you call to a launch, you can go back to them and say, when you are doing your commercials, ABC, the data is what is lacking. And the data is that people are not joining the union. So whether you are president or you are cleaner, the number one question that remains at MUSIGA is that why are people not enthused to join? Because you can bring the best president to come and sit on MUSIGA. But if MUSIGA is not appealing enough, attractive enough, innovative enough to draw out people to join the union, it's an empty shell. That's why I asked you about GPRTU. GPRTU doesn't need a social media manager. It is appealing by virtue of what they execute and what they deliver.
On the ground.
On the ground. Yeah. We are not delivering anything on the ground. We are not appealing. You won't do anything to promote and entice people. So it's not a social media.
We are just putting the carts before the horse in this scenario. We are all on the same page.
We actually all agree with you.
Yeah, but I think they put the thing ahead.
No, I am telling you that.
The first step of solving this problem is to ensure, say, the guy that they see, without all of these things, see, the reason why they don't listen to us, you come on radio and rant and rant.
Who's the boss at 1 p.m.?
Okay.
Do you know the boss? Do you know who's at the top of the pyramid? No. Do you know who's at the top of the pyramid at 1 p.m.?
No, I don't know.
Do you know who's at the top of the pyramid at Spotify?
No.
Because it works and they've made it attractive.
So these are two different things.
If we need a president to get the website, then you are putting this
is a collective, and the good thing about MUSIGA is also that it's democratic. Whichever way you look at it, it's democratic. And for me, the reason why they don't listen to us is that, from Monitor Radio from now till Saturday, you have people talk their things. People will give superb ideas. Superb ideas. The reason why they don't listen to you is that they are not accountable to you. If I was a member, so look at the train of their campaign. They will move from the regions to canvass for votes. Yeah. They won't come to you because they are not accountable to you. So the first step of it, no matter how rigorous the membership process is, the first step is to get onto it and push them and tell them that, this is how I got to it. It was frustrating. In managing my data, I don't want to go through it again. Then you can hold them accountable from there. It's pure politics. It's just like freedom fighting anywhere else in the world. It has to start from a crude way.
Yes. But if you say that you have to be a member before you actually get them to be accountable, their activities, isn't it by some kind of extent or by extension affecting we the consumers?
No, 100%.
Yeah. So
are they liable to you? I mean, do they really have to answer to you? They don't.
No, that's what I'm saying. You don't have to answer to us.
So let me go back to our GPRTU conversation. GPRTU serves the public, about 80% of the public in Ghana. It benefits us. But when leadership says we are on strike, you've seen it in this country. Yeah. You walk.
That's what I'm saying. Is it by extension?
Yeah, so it's about the membership. The membership, the members has a responsibility as consumers.
Exactly.
So if they are not joining, then they are relegating that role.
So I believe that the conversation we are having as a collective would inspire or influence the members to seek that accountability we are looking for. Because
we need to push them to join first and foremost.
Wow.
Yeah, because we need to drive that membership.
Are not members.
No. Yeah, most artists are not members.
Well, I shouldn't say they're artists. A lot of the A-list artists.
And they are the influential ones.
Members of.
And I can imagine the younger upcoming ones.
Yes.
They are not. I mean,
how are you going to? We need to push them to join. How are you going to push a 19 to 25-year-old bracket who's predominantly a digital savvy?
Listen, let's start from somewhere.
How do
everybody?
You have brought the problem. You said we need to push them. Okay, let me ask you a question. We need to push them to join. Eddie, how do we push them to join?
Exactly. I'm coming to you. Okay. I'm coming to
so you know the funny thing? No. A lot of times. Let me tell you something. You know. The funny thing I realize about MUSIGA, when the only time the young guy will go and get the ID card when it's time to travel.
Exactly. And
no matter where he finds himself in this country, he'll go to MUSIGA and get, because it is a requirement to prove as a musician that you need a MUSIGA ID card. And ask them how many times. They only show up when they need the ID card. Yeah. So I'm saying that we are not in an ideal situation in this point. And that is the reason why we need to fight to a point so that it becomes easy.
I need to understand
as an artist. As an artist, I think it is only right that whether it's working or it's not working, secure your membership. That is a first conversation. Whether they are in wrong of not branding themselves well or anything. Because then it identifies you as a musician. For tomorrow's conversation, some legal issue, because they can turn a blind eye to you and say, we don't know you.
You're not a member of the union.
You're not a member of the union. So just for the purposes of your business sake, have that membership running. If there's any dues you have to pay, let the fault be from them that you've been paying dues for 10,000 years and you're not seeing anything. Let it be from that. But if you stand outside it and you critique that I'm not joining because I don't think it's attractive, that is a conversation that you can't have. I think legally, I think that's even
two things.
Because Cyril, if I'm going to travel to Togo and it is mandated I need a COVID test, or I need a visa to travel to Togo. I don't care whether the Togolese embassy runs its operations like the British embassy or the American embassy, but I have to go through the Togolese embassy to go to Togo. So, or else if I try to cross the border without the required documentation, I can be arrested. So first off,
so are you saying
by a
musician's force their hand?
default, I feel, and look, I'm only making this plea because I understand how challenging
we have.
I'm coming serious. Oh,
finish,
I mean,
finish,
talk. We go close now. I feel that already MUSIGA has had its heavy. I've sat in some of these meetings and I've heard they have serious challenges. And look, some of them are so petty in that challenge. You ask yourself that, are we fighting this? Should it be a problem? But that is their headache. Like any corporate body will have its problems. No matter how petty or big it is their problems. But as a musician, let me join it. Let me have my membership actively running. So that tomorrow, when they call for certain meetings and stuff, let me be there if I have to. Whether they call there physically or I have to be there digitally or Zoom, send a rep or whatever, do what I have to do, because this is when our side as artists is also working efficiently. Yeah. Then our voices on what they have to do become, because if I'm a member and I go and tweet, I mean, if I'm a president, I'm watching you and like, what business do you have talking about me? Because if I come and talk about your craft, you come and attack me.
Unless the person is God.
Unless God.
Human beings need checks and balances.
The artists have to put serious pressure on MUSIGA.
Yeah, their leadership.
And they have to put pressure when they are members. If you do it when you're not a member,
nothing. So if I understand what you're saying, are you saying that MUSIGA should be able to design or perhaps create an environment where you need to have a membership card, or you need to be a member before you can travel?
He said something.
Yeah, I mean,
he said something.
And an example
because our artists travel a lot. So.
Let me give you my understanding of what we are saying here. Yellow fever, right? It's a threat to all our lives.
Yeah.
Right? When people go and get their yellow fever, the yellow card,
okay,
people
guys,
are more concerned.
Let's sign out from Plus FM. And then we could have some 10 minutes to just wrap
the
this
way you talk today, I don't like the way you are.
If you want to follow the conversation, yes, we are live on TV for the next 10 minutes. But if you're live on Plus FM, we'll have to make way for Up and Next show as well. But thank you for being a guest on there as well. You can also follow this show on YouTube. Our podcast will be on there this today, or you can catch it at 10 p.m. back on your TV. Thank you very much. All right, Cyril.
When people go and get their yellow card, they are more concerned about the card than about the fact that they could have a disease that will kill them.
Yeah.
Do you see the thinking of the Ghanaian?
Yeah.
He is more concerned about the card than the fact that the card is supposed to mean that you have been vaccinated against something that could kill you. That is the same rationale that follows with this MUSIGA and traveling card. So the artist is not doing it because he cares.
No.
Let me learn.
Cyril, you were talking about accessibility.
Yes.
And I am drawing.
Yeah, you get me.
Listen,
and
Eddie, I'm not shifting it. Let me learn.
Let me
learn.
He wants to learn.
I am saying that the point that artists go to MUSIGA for the card when they want to travel doesn't mean they care anything at all about MUSIGA.
Yeah.
It is just a means to an end, like any of the other criteria that you could people travel and are asked all sorts of things. Wedding certificate, you go and marry somebody by force. There's plenty of things people do just to get to the end of whatever their pursuits are. So this reasoning that somebody is going to MUSIGA because they become travel, blah blah blah, it's quote unquote frivolous. They matter. Listen, you are saying that you have established the fact that we need the artist to join the union. And then from the inside the union, they can pressure administration and leadership to get the right things done. We are all in agreement on that.
Yeah.
My question to you is that the artist is responsive to that which is accessible and attractive. And you have failed to...
No, I want to see, there's something called... there's something
so you're not answering my question. My question is simple. Eddie and
civic responsibility.
Eddie and Jefoli, my question is simple to the two of you. Yes. We have all agreed that artists need to join MUSIGA and then we can fix MUSIGA together from the inside. My question is simple. How are we going to get the artists to join? That's my question. Answer that for me.
No.
And I'll stop talking.
So let me tell you. I think for me,
my question be hard.
No hard. But I want to answer your question. I want to answer your question. Just give me the answer. I want to answer your question with Cyril.
How do I get an American visa? So go to the embassy.
You say you want to answer your question.
How do you get a British visa?
Answer your question.
Akili,
So we all acknowledge that MUSIGA has about three main stakeholders. Like, the artists, maybe government to some extent, because when policy is driven by that, and maybe we the stakeholders on the other side, media, CSOs, and all of that. Yeah. So for me, we all acknowledge that third arm is not working. And for me, there's also something called civic responsibility. Charlie, if I'm walking down the traffic light and somebody is littering the traffic lights, it's not my business to tell the guy to pick it up. But as a person who loves Ghana, I can call that person to order and tell the guy that, Charlie, you can't drop this here, pick it up. And that is what I think the musicians should look at this as a civic responsibility, rather than I want things to be comfortable. I want to be able to sit in my room and log on and sit. This is a fight.
I'm told that the Bosco is on the line now. Let's try and establish the connection again. Good morning, Daddy Bosco.
Good morning.
Okay, I need to confirm. Are you guys hearing him as well?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, all right, great. Yes, we can hear you then. So we've been having a conversation where I had asked you earlier on about what's happening with regards to the preparations towards the elections happening very soon, and also mind telling us who and who is standing for the election. Oh, beautiful sight we have there, but unfortunately, it's a still image. It's not. We can't hear you. I like the mountain over there.
He's talking.
Yes. I can't seem to hear that in Moscow as well. Very unfortunate. Yeah, very, very unfortunate. But we would,
the thread news will get him.
Yeah, I think thread will get him.
We have to wrap up in 6 minutes, but let's answer Cyril's question on. I think you've been.
I think my take is Cyril. Somebody has to eat the humble pie, like you said.
People are just having conversation. It's a simple question.
Yes.
Once you get the driver's license, where do I go? Mention. I don't want them to.
I think
you see the way you answer.
So if people can, people will not.
When you want to do your road ready, where you want to go? Where you go? DVLA. You don't tell me that. Well, in Ghana there are associations for vehicles.
So go to MUSIGA
so
I want to join MUSIGA.
Where do you go?
Yeah, no, the same way.
So I want to know where to go. Their office.
The office.
They don't do registration there anymore.
Who said?
They do.
Yeah.
Where's the office? Where do I find out about
MUSIGA office.
No, but we go to find out. No, we go to find out for him.
Hold on. I am not a musician, so I'm not entitled.
After the show, I go find out for you.
No.
After the show,
I go find out.
You wait there and give everything is fine. After the show,
no, talk everything is fine.
I'm asking you where the office day.
No, but I
don't. So I want to join.
So the thing is, I think somebody has to eat the humble pie.
I said that
because that's not your question. No, that's not your question. Somebody has to eat the humble pie and join. And like you said, make sure certain things are done, because you talk to any artist, whether A-list or upcoming, they will have issues and problems, and they go run to you.
Yeah.
You, Cyril, can't do anything for them. I can't do anything to them. Joyful, you know. But if it's a collective, if it goes to like an entity that can actually lobby government and everybody else, Gumroad, anybody else who matters, even the ministry, then we should all like try and join that entity and make sure they're doing these things.
So do you think it would be easier to eat the humble pie? The artist who is already a celebrity and has different varied problems, the millions of us artists, or the organization.
But if the artist gets censored, you will realize the people who were probably bigger than him back in the day all got sick, and they got some 20 CDs money from MUSIGA to buy their last drugs before they died. But if you join MUSIGA and things work properly, because their vision or their mission that they put there is so little, but it's huge. Yeah. It's huge, because anywhere else, right, music unions are helping, like, collectively go for auto loans, health schemes, different types of insurance policies. We are talking about also some artists can actually play certain gigs if they're associated with the union.
Grants.
Yeah. Grants that can come to you. All these things. So, we have to make sure they are doing these things and actually...
Who was trying to do that? But I don't know whether even at that level and the things he was trying to do, yes, he had his flaws. But at that level, I don't know if people still even joined.
Because at that point, because he didn't do anything. Like, if 1 or 2 or 3 of these things actually happened, trust me.
He didn't do
so you know how politicians couch campaign messages?
I mean, $3 million, or was it CDs? I'm not sure how much. $2 million. Was it dollars or CDs?
Yeah,
$2 million.
$2 million.
Dollars?
It was dollars.
I think
No, the
I
KPMG
always
report.
Yeah.
CDs.
The what?
Or cities.
Let me take the KPMG report.
Oh, I'm not sure if it was all of it. I'm sure some with the website.
Some will do the website.
Some with the website.
Bro, you can get a website for $9.99. I just checked MUSIGA. Nobody's trying to buy it.
Nobody said they like it.
They said they like it. $9, $11, you go buy. $2 million, you go pay for that website for 100 billion years. Who want buy MUSIGA domain?
Yeah, so I mean,
see, I'm not going to talk against them. Who want buy MUSIGA domain?
Obo's plans were definitely legit. Like,
Who want buy MUSIGA
it should be
domain,
supported.
bro?
It should be actually looked at and maybe like furthered on. Like it has to be looked at. So because that little mission that MUSIGA has, it's so much. But if there's no artists or younger artists to go in and try and push these people to do things, it won't happen. Like I said, Bessa has been there 8 years as a vice president. Didn't do much. I mean, do I trust him to? If I was to vote, I probably wouldn't vote for him. I'm not saying I'm going to vote for the other person, but I would love, that's why I said I would love Richie to be there. We haven't seen much of what he can do, but I know with what he's done with these artists that he works with. And of course, he'll definitely want to see things work for, not just for him, but it's for his business and also his artists. You know, so, but most of these other people who come to contest these things, it's like, I'm retired. I have nothing to lose. Yeah. And that's it.
Let me quickly read through some of our board's highlights. Like Cyril said,
yeah, please hurry. We have 2 minutes.
He commissioned the KPMG study on the music industry in Ghana, which was supposed to provide data and insight on the state and the potential of the sector. He established the presidential roundtable, which was supposed to be an annual event that raises funds for aging and needy musicians. I don't know if that's still going on, and honors distinguished personalities who have contributed to the music industry. He launched the Musical Academy. I don't know what's happening with that. It was supposed to be a training and capacity building program for musicians and music professionals who offer courses on music production, management, and market, etc. Has that happened? I don't know. He secured a 2 million Ghana cedi loan facility from the government for musicians, which was supposed to have been disbursed as Ejumapa loans to over 100 beneficiaries. Okay, and then he organized the Ghana Music Fair, which is supposed to be a platform for showcasing and promoting Ghanaian music and culture to local and international audiences. He also advocated for the passage of the Creative Arts Bill, which seeks to establish a legal framework and an agency for the development and regulation of the creative arts sector. And lastly, he collaborated with other stakeholders to fight piracy and protect the intellectual property rights of musicians. Are these things true?
Yes.
Were they amplified?
Yes.
We'll find out more
Did it
next
actually
week.
all happen?
That's what I'm saying. This is what he was supposed to have done, or this was what was recorded to have been done by him. As to whether it was amplified or not, time will tell.
Well, the last thing I want to ask before we just run out of here is, did we feel MUSIGA's presence at the recently held VGMA?
Nope. Because the last time we felt their presence was when the winning artist had some cash money or cash prize or something.
It was under Abo.
On Abo, yeah. And they are supposed to work closely with the VGMAs because they are supposed to be the leading organizers of the
so
music
let's
awards.
say, for example, so in this case, if the winning artist was not a MUSIGA member, would MUSIGA still want to give that person money?
That's a question for another day.
I think with all due respect, I think we should have this conversation a second time.
We should.
There's a whole part of it that we haven't, touched on leading to the elections. It'd be ideal for us to have a continuation of this conversation. But guys, thank you very much for joining us. Short conversation, but very impactful.
Don't thank me.
Our
I'm not
newest
done.
member of MUSIGA.
Don't thank me. I'm not done. Don't thank me.
But see, Cyril Pedia, if you're taking passport picture,
for
film form.
Leave me alone, pay.
Too much.
Because we are very, very we care about you. As
Go away.
we want to make sure that you are, active in your
no problem.
because we want to secure your royalties from all the other songs that the songs that you release. Thank you very much, Cyril. Please, what name should we use? Which bank?
Usefully.
On that note, we are out of here. We're back again tomorrow. And happy Mother's Day in advance. It's this Sunday. Watch out, we have something for you.